We saw some mud, some clay, sand, and the different components of the soil. Yeah? What did you guys find for your pH of the soil today?
Let me check.
Yeah, find out.
So, for the pH, it's mostly been around like 7, 6.5.
So is that a neutral pH?
Yes.
Yeah, is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you guys find in the critter station? Did you find out about the different pHs affect the plants and animals that live there in the creek? Yeah. So what all did we catch? We find some cool stuff? Some creepy crawlies?
We got a dragonfly in him.
Nice.
A couple snails.
Some snails, ladies?
Scrubs.
Some scuds?
Yeah. Water spiders.
Water spiders? Yeah, Ethan?
I'm pretty sure there were a lot of spiders. And I found nothing really. But it was like a little tiny white thing. I don't know.
What about some sow bugs, the roly-poly looking guys? You guys find some of those?
A lot of those.
Yeah? Fun stuff.
Now we're going to talk about the plants.
But now we're at the plant station. That's right. We're going to talk about plants today.
Good thing.
Yeah, we're on page 3.
Okay. Of plants. It's a plant at the top.
Yeah. So, what kind of wetlands have you guys heard of before? Yeah? What's that?
Organic wetlands?
So, organic is the type of soil you would find in a wetland, right? And what was organic made of? Plants that were decaying. Yeah. So do you guys see that happening right now?
Yeah.
Aren't these starting to kind of die down and fall over? Yeah, a couple weeks ago, it didn't look like this. Things are getting ready for the winter.
It looks green.
Yeah, so what else do we know about wetlands? Do we know any types of wetlands? No. What about when you go, a marsh? Yeah, when you go to the beach, there's the salt marshes, a swamp. Yeah, swamps have what kind of plants? Trees, maybe? What else kind of wetlands do we have?
Slurpy swamp.
Yes, yeah?
Like the plants that grow inside, like the creeks, I guess.
Yes, we got some aquatic vegetation. So so we got marshes, we have swamps. Do you guys remember the term bog? Yeah, we had that PowerPoint presentation. Do you guys remember what was cool about bogs? So bogs have really low nutrients in their soils. So is that good for plants?
No.
No, it makes it hard for them to grow. So some plants have evolved to get their nutrients another way. Do we have any guesses on how?
Venus flytrap.
Yeah, carnivory. So did you guys know that here in Pennsylvania we have a native carnivorous plant?
Citrus plant?
This is called a sundew. So although it's enlarged here, it's about the size of a quarter. It's a pretty small plant. But do you guys see in here, it's got a fly. So these hairs are sticky, and when a fly lands on it, they crumple down and roll down. This almost looks like a spoon, right? And it catches the fly, and the plant gets its nutrients. We are in a fen wetland, so we call it the Ren-Fen wetland. So I don't know if you filled out your page 1, but the project is Renfrew Fen.
All right.
Yeah. So what kind of different trees and shrubs and grasses do you guys see around here? Yeah, what about this? This kind of looks familiar.
Looks like wheat.
It looks like wheat, right? But it's not wheat. This is rye. Do you guys ever heard of rye bread? Maybe, yeah, whole wheat bread. So this is Virginia wild rye. What about this? I see some thorns on it. Does anybody have any guesses on what this might be?
Not a rose.
It is a rose. It's a wild rose. It's called multiflora rose. What was that? Oh yeah, did you get some thorns in your fingers? No? What about some of the trees? I know we're losing some leaves, but do we recognize any of the trees around us?
Let me look at them leaves. We got
some walnuts. Yeah, good call. We got some walnuts. Maples. Oak. Yeah. Do we see any flowers right now?
Nope.
Well, if you look close enough, there are some, but they're pretty small, and a lot of them are dying back. If you guys look behind you, all those brown stems coming up were beautiful yellow flowers last week. But what happens every fall?
They die.
Yeah, some of our herbaceous plants die until next year. What is the name for a plant that doesn't die in the wintertime but stays green?
Evergreen.
Evergreen, good job. So what about the trees that shed their leaves? Do you guys know what they're called? Coniferous are the pine trees.
Yeah.
They're evergreen, but you're close. It's deciduous.
Oh.
We have deciduous trees. Okay, so if we were just classifying the different kinds of wetlands based on hydrology and soils, right? Bog has low nutrient soils, and swamps have trees, and saturated wetlands or saturated soils. But today, what station are we in? The plant station. So how are we going to classify our wetlands?
By the type of plant.
By the types of plants. All right. So do you guys know the difference between woody and herbaceous plants?
Nope. Wait, Woody has wood.
Woody has wood. I mean, it's really just that simple. Yeah. So we have woody plants. Do you see a woody trees, woody vines, and woody shrubs? And sometimes you'll even catch some really short woody plants. So this is a woody plant. This is a spice bush growing up right here. Huh? Yeah, we've got some woody vines over there.
Should I be writing this down?
Not yet. All right, so we also have some non-woody plants, and we call these non-woody plants herbaceous plants. So we've got some grasses, some flowers, and every year, how often do you guys have to cut your grass to keep it short?
I mean, my dad does it like once a week.
Once a week, that's a lot. So every week they're growing and emerging. So we call our herbaceous based wetlands emergent wetlands. And then, of course, what is a wooded area called?
A forest.
A forest. We have forested wetlands.
And
what about in between?
Shrub.
Yes, you got it. We've got scrub shrub wetlands. And what do you guys think that we're in today?
Number 2.
Number 2, we're in a scrub shrub wetland. So we've got herbaceous plants, and we've got some woody plants and trees. So we're going to give you guys some pictures of different wetlands, some really beautiful wetlands. Looking at these pictures, guys, what do we see the difference between these 3 kinds of wetlands? They're different. Yeah?
That one has a bunch of water, and the scrub has like some trees and some like scrubs. I mean,
Yeah.
that way we have just plants and just like
Sure.
no, but you're.
What else do we notice, guys? Do we see some differences between these 3 types of wetlands? Yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. We see some forest. This here is some just grass. This almost is such a variety. What do trees give us?
Oxygen.
Oxygen. What else?
Paper.
What was that?
Paper.
Paper?
Paper, I do, yeah.
Yeah? So when it's a really hot day and we're blazing in the sun, what do we want? We're looking for some shade. Yeah. So when we look at these pictures, do you guys see how shaded the forested wetlands are? you think we're gonna have different types of animals and plants that live in these different wetlands? Yeah? What was that?
Some wetlands fresh, some you can drink out of.
Yeah, we have freshwater wetlands and we have saltwater wetlands. And wetlands recharge our groundwater. So do any of you guys have wells at home?
Yeah, underground.
Yeah, so when we pump our water from wells, we're getting groundwater that was filtered and cleaned by our local wetlands. Yes, Paisley?
Doesn't trees also give like some types of food for the birds?
Yeah, we can get some food products from our trees as well. Alright guys, so I am a wetland delineator. Can anybody guess what a wetland delineator is?
You study wetlands?
Yeah, I mean I work in the wetlands. When we look at the word delineator, can we pull out any words from that word? What? No, so what about the word line? Do you hear line and delineator? Delineator? So a wetland delineator determines where a wetland stops and an upland starts and finds the perimeter of the wetland. So we've got a pretty big wetland down here, right? Yeah. So if I were to come down here to delineate this wetland, would I want to find every single plant species? Find what every single species of plant was in this wetland?
No.
Yeah, I mean, look how big this guy is. We've got tons of different types of grasses and flowers and shrubs. And do you think just going out to a wetland one time, I can see the spring flowers?
Yep.
No. Or if I go out in the spring, would I be able to see the fall plants?
No.
No. So there's different plants at different times as well. So as scientists, so we don't have to spend so much time, we do sampling. I'm sure you guys have done sampling. I'm sure it was in math class probably, when you have a bunch of different colored marbles and you put your hand in and grab out random balls, right? What's the probability of having all blue, right? So that's kind of the same idea. We're doing sampling. And our sampling technique today, we're gonna do is plot studies. So behind you guys, I have 4 plots set up. They're 3x5, and what we're gonna do is use our cards here. I made you guys some little cheat sheets. I came out ahead of time, and I found out all these plants over here. And I put together an identification card sheet for you guys. So what you're gonna do is we'll do one together. We'll do the spice bush. So like I said, this is a spice bush right here. So how did I figure that out? Well, we're gonna flip to the back of the spice bush page. And it has the common name, the scientific name, the indicator status, and identifying features. So what are some identifying features of this? It's a woody shrub or bush. Does this look woody to you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
The leaves have a distinct lemon smell, which we'll get to smell and talk about more later. And it has red berries. I don't see any red berries on it. But I'm gonna flip over and look at the picture. Do the shape of the leaves look the same? Yeah, so what we're gonna do is use our cards to identify the plants in your plot. And then we're gonna count how many that you found of each plant in your plot. Let's say you have like 15 to 20 plants and you've stopped wanting to count them. Go ahead and just write a plus behind it, and we'll know that you found more than 15 to 20. Okay, so we're gonna group off.